Table's a little wobbly here. It is a cold, brisk Sunday morning, and I am out here with the Beta FPV CETUS X drone, and I've had it for probably almost 2 weeks now. I have had an accident with it. I have crashed it, and it has blown apart on me, and that's okay. I have mended it back together to where it is flyable again. I will be ordering another frame. I will show you how to put that frame, swap all the guts to that frame, and I will be also I have a friend who's 3D printing me a frame of his own, and we're going to try that one out probably first before I swap it back over to a CETUS X, if I decide to swap it back to a CETUS X frame. This thing's been out for a little bit, so it's not really anything super new. You have probably seen people review it, fly it, do this, that, and the other with it. I'm kind of just giving my own 2 cents worth as far as what I think of it. Now, this is not paid. I'm not paid by Beta FPV. They haven't sent this to me. I paid my own money for it, so this is all just purely my review. So, there's very little I don't like about it, actually, surprisingly enough. It is actually for a ready-to-fly kit. I was actually very pleased with it. It flies nice, handles nice. I love the fact that the controller is ELRS, and it can be used with other drones, and it can be used on simulators. So that's pretty fantastic. The goggles are also very well built. They're not heavy. They don't weigh on your face, and they don't pull. I thought they would, being the shape they are. But they actually are pretty comfortable to wear, surprisingly enough. So, because I thought that design was going to suck. It does not. So that's not bad. The kit does come with 4 batteries. Technically it's 2 because it is a 2S quad, so you got to use 2 at a time. They say you get 10 minutes flying basic, flights, nothing super fancy, nothing crazy. I don't fly that. I usually fly acro, or in their case, air mode. So I usually get probably, I'd say about 3.5 minutes per set of batteries. Their batteries are super cheap. You can buy a whole crap ton of them with bigger chargers. You can charge more at a time. I think you can get it's like a set of 8 batteries for $29, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I will put their information to this kit in the description so you can take a look at it yourself. And also link a website to my friend who also does the 3D printing, because he will have some stuff up there that you can request. Send him files if you have your own files that you want printed. He can take care of that for you as well. So let me just show you how I destroyed this thing, and it wasn't intentional, mind you. I had a little whoop-de-doo the other day, and basically a testimony to its durability. So I don't know if you can see it, but I have hot glued both sides. The frame cracked right there and inside the duct. You see it right there. But other than that, it still flies, and it actually still flies really good. Oh, and I did actually break the lens right off of the board there, so I actually got creative and used some worry-free FPV waterproofing goop, and I actually adhered the lens back to the board, and it worked pretty well, actually. I can see out of it just fine, almost like it never happened. But I will be reordering some spare parts, and I will show you guys how you can easily replace this stuff if you do. So they did make it a very easy plug-and-play system, which is very nice. So yes, that was my little accident. That's what I had with it. Other than that, I'd say it's actually very forgiving, because I've actually bumped into trees with it, intentionally and unintentionally, and it actually has worked really good. It actually kind of bounces itself off, kind of helps correct itself a little bit. So it's a very forgiving setup, and it flies pretty good for a beginner. I would recommend that every beginner starts with something like this before they just jump into buying or building a full-blown 5-inch quad or whatever. I would strongly suggest always getting one of these and going from there with that. the only thing that I dislike about it, and again, the reason you saw hot glue on the sides, is because those holes, the screws, for whatever reason, they come out super easy. Those few bumps I've done and a little jostling has actually knocked one of those screws out, and I've lost it and I had to replace it. So could be better in the screws department as far as the holding the camera in place. They're also very stubby, so they don't have a lot of thread to grab onto anything. So that part kind of sucks. I would suggest that, you know, if Beta FPV, if you guys could maybe figure out a better setup for the adjustable head on the CETUS X. Make it to where the screws don't keep backing themselves out. But yeah, other than that, it's a pretty fantastic kit. Comes in its nice little, you know, carrying case. It's pretty compact. Holds your goggles, your controller, the drone, spare parts, batteries, your manual. Everything goes in there, straps down, nice and snug. I would strongly recommend it again. I think I only paid after taxes and shipping like $311 maybe. And I bought it right from Race Day Quads. But as far as the spare parts go, I'm pretty sure you can only, as far as right now that I've seen, you can only buy the parts from Beta FPV's website. Again, I will link all the websites in the description down below so you guys can take a look at everything that I'm talking about. So, other than that, that's all I got to pretty much say about this little ditty. I will pop in some batteries, go throw it up in the air, and get a little bit of footage of it. Again, also, I didn't actually adjust any of the rates on this. I'm flying as is. The only thing I did change was the OSD. I just kind of rearranged some stuff so it's a little more out of the way, because for whatever reason they started kind of bunched up in the middle. So yeah, that's really the only thing I adjusted. Other than that, I think the way they tuned it is pretty good, especially if you're a beginner. It will do just fine for you. So it's a peppy little thing. It's got some zip. So if you get down on the sticks, it'll move. I mean, it's kind of one of the reasons it kind of exploded on me when I pile drived it into a bleacher, metal bleacher. So, all right, let's throw it up in the air and see what we can do. All right, we're off. Oop, gotta adjust my antenna. So yeah, you know, and for analog, I'm not a big analog flyer, not my favorite, but for analog, I was not too unhappy with it. I was surprisingly, didn't bug me as much. Now the camera, again, mind you, is not gonna be great because I obviously busted it a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. It's a fun little thing to just putt around in. I'm gonna probably order a bunch more batteries just so I can have some more stuff to putt around with. But yeah, I mean, you know, when I don't want to whip out my other quads, my bigger quads, then this is my definite go-to, just to go have some fun, piddle around. And yeah. Woo! And we're gonna see if we're in pieces. We are not looking good. We are not looking good at all. All right, well, unfortunately, we are, losing my camera here. We are out of commission. I have totally busted the camera off the top. I gotta go look for it. We are missing it, so we got some repairs to do, and that's gonna be our next video. So stay tuned and hope you enjoy it. Okay, well, if this is not a testament to what this thing can go through, I think I showed you, there's the head where the camera was. I actually had to walk around the schoolyard to find the camera itself, because it just came flying out of there. Still holding together though. As you can see, I might be able to see where I glued pretty much the camera back to the board. I did plug it back in and turn the goggles back on, and it works perfectly fine, like nothing ever happened. So good job, Beta FPV. You definitely got that to work out pretty good. So I'm going to keep resurrecting this thing until there is absolutely no more life in it, no more anything, no more possibility. And like I said, I will have a new frame printed out, and I will also order a new frame from Beta FPV. So the other thing I might do too is Beta FPV actually offers a digital version, and I might try and see if I can get that integrated into this whole setup. So till then, keep flying frosty.